Hello everyone. So I'm gonna be completely honest and say that I screwed myself. I have basically recorded the last video for Bunker Simulator, but while playing, I realized that there was no game audio. Like I could hear it, but the video couldn't. So I have the footage, but there's no audio, and I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do next. But I guess I'm just going to review this game because I have the footage. I can use the footage as background, and then I can just review the game and then talk about another thing I wanted to talk about, because there is something else I want to talk about. But this is a bit different because I am not using a script right now. So I am not reading from a script, which is probably somewhat audible, I guess, because I am not actually reading from the script, because it sounds different now, because I do admit that I have a bit of a reader's voice, so when I read instead of just talking you can hear it. But yeah, I am just basically off the top of my head going to review this game. I'm just gonna use the game footage as background. The first thing that I'm gonna talk about is the base game, because unlike this one, there is also the base game, which I've already played, and I'll put the actual, I think I made a playlist, I'm not sure, but I'll put the first video that I made in the top right so you can watch it and see what that is like. If you want to watch all the other videos as well, up to you. Just keep in mind I never finished it because I got angry. So one of my biggest issues with the first, well, not first game, but the base game, is that it had no tutorial at all. Like it had a basic tutorial, like you have to feed yourself, you have to like defend yourselves, you're the one that has to give orders and that kind of stuff. But it was just that, like you had a recipe book, like if you want to make food, this is how you can do it, and this is how you can do it efficiently. You have to do the radio, and then the radio commands and that kind of stuff were just discussed. But that was basically it. It never told me that I need to use the AI to kill things on the map. For example, the flag gun, or the pack, I think it's a pack 40 or something like that. At least the anti-tank gun that is in the game. They never told me I should put an AI on it, because the AI can reach further than I can, which is dumb. In my opinion, it was a dumb decision to do that. But that frustrated me to no end, because there were moments where I had like a 20-30 minute video while I was dealing with that stuff for like 3 hours, because I just couldn't get through and I didn't know how to fix it. The game also has some good sides. The management portion of the game is fun. Even though it is a bit frustrating what you have to do with the AI, it was fun, because you had to manage their food and water as well. The only thing I didn't like is that they wouldn't drink something unless you gave it to them, like put it somewhere and they drank it. They did do the food stuff. If there is no food prepared, they grab food and then eat it instead. But that was not as efficient as you making dinner for them. The missions were fine, a bit repetitive, but they were fine. And I also switched to the Origins DLC as well. Get more enemies, like a lot more enemies, a lot more friendlies. You went from 4 people plus yourself to 10 people plus yourself maxed. But you didn't have to feed the Germans, the German part of the allies. So it was basically just soldiers that protected you against a horde of Americans. And then the mechanics were fine. I'll be honest, I never put landmines down. There is like an entire mechanic where you can dig up the ground, put landmines, tank mines, and that kind of stuff down. I never did that because I never cared. And you have mechanics for cleaning, and you have organization and that kind of stuff, which is all fine. They added a DLC which was hunting, which it was a fun addition. I bought it as well, did it once in the second episode, and that was basically that. Like it wasn't expensive, it was really cheap, and it was fun, because if you play the base game and you are having issues with needing to get more food, you can just hunt to get extra meat, which is a really good addition, because I was struggling at times in the main game, like the base game. Now, there are some things that are a bit strange. The gun handling was good, but also extremely unreliable at times. where I've had base game videos where I'm shooting at an enemy point blank and there's nothing happening while they're killing me. There are some invisible walls which are not really well made, so I'm shooting at someone and then I just make a random hole, like in nothing, which is strange. And there have been a lot of hotfixes, updates, and patches to fix the Origins DLC difficulty. So you had a big onslaught of enemies already, as you've probably seen if you watched my video before this. It was crazy, but it was worse. It was a lot worse apparently. And in my eyes, it is like, this is crazy already, and I barely survived at times. But it was like 2-3 times as bad. So yeah, to me, that would have been unplayable. So what do I think about the game in conclusion? Because I have some other stuff to talk about as well. So I like the guns. They were somewhat realistic. I like the variety, even though the variety wasn't that big and I used maybe 2-3 guns, because there was like a clear difference between what is good and what is not. But there was some good variety. I do have to say that the guns all felt different from each other, which is nice. Would I recommend the game? Yes, probably. But I do have to say that look up some videos and tutorials so you don't get the same problem as me, not knowing what the hell you're supposed to do with the AIs. Okay, now let's switch to the other thing that I wanted to talk about. And I'm just going to, I guess let me just switch the scenery to, I don't know, so I could show some stuff, I guess. So let me just put backboard. Yeah, let's just do a gray one. And I'll put my character here. I'll put Phoenix's character up as well. Well, logo, I mean, he doesn't have a character, but you know. So me and Phoenix had a conversation together. And for people that don't know, Phoenix is my best friend, and he is also the co-owner of my channel basically, and he is a co-host as well. He doesn't really do stuff on his own because I don't know why. I don't think I ever asked him specifically why he is not interested in making his own stuff, but he works a lot and he does a lot of stuff, so he just helps me, and I guess that's good enough for him. But we had a conversation, and something needed to change, something needed to be done. I guess we did, and we're on really good terms again now. There was some, I guess there wasn't any resentment or anything, just a bit of a rough patch. Because there was a lot of stress and a lot of annoyance because of things that were done, not done, that needed to be done, and were probably never going to be done because we had to get rid of some people in our group. If you have STX, you have me, you have Phoenix under me, and then you have a couple ranks of people that do certain things. So you have me as the owner of everything, you have Phoenix that did so much for me. I basically just gave him co-host, co-owner, whatever he wants to do he can do. And then you have members that are in videos, streams, or are characters in stories we make. So if you've been on my channel for a while, you might have seen the PC project, Project Zomboid, which is sadly a project we had to cancel. It was cancelled because there was a lack of people we could actually use for side characters and that kind of stuff. Yeah, that is basically a big issue with what I'm doing right now, a lack of people that help us. And I get it. People have a job, people have work to do, people do not have all the free time to give to someone and not really get anything in return. I get that, it makes sense. So I can't really expect people to just lay down their lives and just do what I want them to do, I guess. I have people that are like, if you need my help, you could just ask. But it feels wrong to ask because I know they're not really doing it because they want to. They're doing it because I'm the one asking. So that makes things a bit harder. I'll just talk about the current projects that I have and the things that happened in the meantime. So we went from around 8 people, I think 8 or 9 people, to one that was in limbo for a while. He didn't know if he wanted to stay or not. but I considered him left because it was the best that way. And there's 3 of us left. It is well, myself, of course, would be kind of weird if I wasn't here. Phoenix, and then I guess a high-ranking member that has been in my community for a long time and also been on streams and stuff, which is Meadow. And the things we currently have is we have a couple projects that we are working on currently, which is basically co-op projects that I do alone, game reviews, or just general things, I guess, that we want to do. I guess I'll start with stuff that is just me. I want to play one game, which is called Dave the Diver. It's getting older right now, and people have probably like played it, finished it, but it does look nice, and I want to change a bit from constantly playing like shooter games, FPS, and being stressed all the time because of it. I just want to play a game that's a bit more relaxed. And then for review videos is Zero Seaford. I don't know if I say it right. It's basically a pixelated Tarkov. That's basically the easiest way to explain it. It's just a pixelated Tarkov type game. It is fun. It was really fun. I don't really play it anymore since it came out because I don't like when games are too repetitive with like missions and stuff, and the game is pretty hard, so for me it was hard to play at one point, but that's just a skill issue. That is not like a problem of the game. And then a review on Ranch Simulator, which I played quite a bit with my sister, and then Phoenix and Meadow joined at one point as well. So that's the thing that I want to do alone. Projects that are co-op that are currently in the making. Okay, so what we wanted to do is a Don't Starve Together 100 days run. So we would have a bunch of us that would be making a plan on what we are going to do between day 100, no, day 0 and day 100. And then when we reach day 100, we would see how well it does. And if it does well, we would make a 100 to 200 and then continue that till we finish the game. And then we basically have to plan that, get the main characters ready. We need to get the needed mods because, well, in my opinion, the game is a bit too hard. And then get all the world info and settings and that kind of stuff. And then we have Stardew Valley. I have played Stardew Valley so many times. We've restarted it so many times. I streamed it. I don't think I've made videos on it yet. But we've tried it so many times to like get 100%, get a perfect farm and that kind of stuff, but it never actually gets anywhere, and the streams just get boring, and then I just stop playing, or someone else stops playing, and then everyone does. So that's also an issue. But Stardew Valley is back on the schedule board with some objectives we want to do, and this is going to be a video, not a stream, because if I stream this game, it's just repetitive boringness. Well, I could just cut all that out in video format, so it's easier. And then projects that are upcoming, so we are still discussing details, is Lethal Company VR. I played a lot of Lethal Company with Phoenix and Meadow, but it is, I don't know, to me it got boring because, like I said many times, I hate when things are repetitive, and in my eyes, Lethal Company is like the definition of like being repetitive. You do the same thing over and over again till you die, and then you completely restart, which is just not my cup of tea. But in VR, it's a different look. We played it in VR once, and it was actually pretty fun. And then we have Raft. I streamed Raft before. We don't have any details on Raft yet, what we want to do, but I'm assuming that if we want to play Raft, it might be 100 days. And then the same thing as Don't Starve Together. See how people like it, if people watch it. And then if we reach a certain view goal, we make another one. And then the last one that doesn't have any focus currently. So it is just put here, but it has nothing else. Which is Space Engineers. I wanted to do a Space Engineers story that is about a team of players escaping a hostile planet. And our objective would be that we build a satellite array on the planet, and then build a satellite, need to shoot that into space to quote unquote get communication back up, and then we would make a rocket to to basically fly ourselves to one of the ships that are in space that are like part of our faction. The problem with this is that I would have wanted to do this in maybe 5 to 10 episodes, but knowing myself, knowing Phoenix, and anyone else that would want to join, even Meadow, we've been playing Space Engineers for a long time, especially me. I have over 2,500 hours. Then you have Phoenix, which also has almost 900 hours. And then Meadow has almost 150 hours. So I played a lot of Space Engineers. Phoenix played a lot of Space Engineers with me. I taught him, and then we together taught Meadow. So if we want to do this and make it a bit of a roleplay, we can't just do the entire like video thing, the entire series in like 40-50 minutes, because that is just that doesn't make sense. Because we know how to do all the things that we want to do. We have everything like in our head that we would build, so we would just get to it, get resources, and build it. So that would not make any sense. It would be like, instead of like 5 episodes of 15 minutes, we would do it in maybe an hour. So yeah, we might cancel this one, just being honest. And I will also be using the community tab more. There is a community tab on YouTube where I can like put messages. I'm gonna put stuff more on there as well when stuff gets cancelled or things change and that kind of stuff. Just to make it a bit easier for people to see what's going on, so that people know that I am still around. And the last one that I'm gonna talk about is Factorio. So Factorio isn't actually anywhere in the projects right now. It is in testing phase. So I have an entire like way I go through games, if they are good enough or not. And Factorio is currently in testing. We're testing out if we are actually able to make it from start to finish without like extreme issues, or if we get overrun at one point and we have to restart completely, because that's not fun. If you're making a video and then you want to make progress, and then when you turn the video off, you grind a bit and then you die, then we have to restart completely, where none of us are interested in that. I know it's part of making content that things can go wrong, but might as well just not do it when that's such a risk. I do actually want to look for more people that could join our team, but I'm not really trustworthy with people. Like, I have like massive trust issues, so it is hard for me to like look for people so that they can join. So I have like a system where you are part of it for like 2 weeks, and then you can introduce yourself, play with us, see if you fit in. Then after 2 weeks, you're judged if you are good enough to stay or not, or if you like don't fit in, something like that. And then you could try again, but 9 out of 10 times we would just tell you like, it's not gonna work. So it's best that you just leave it, because you don't want to waste your time and hear another no. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is Rogue Gaming. It's not really an advertisement, don't get me wrong, but I'm the head of management on the server in the community, I guess. I basically take care of all the staff members on every server that we host. We currently have a Rust server which is slowly growing. So if you are interested in joining that Discord and joining my community with, I guess Phoenix is in it, Meadow is in it, and they play Rust because we have a Rust server. It's like 2 times modded. I have like, I have a video, I think. Yeah, I have a video on YouTube somewhere. I think it's hidden right now because I linked it. I have a link to it through TikTok. But I'll put the link in the description so you can watch it as well. It's basically an advertisement video that I made of the server, so you can see what it has, what it is about. It's, I think I just said that, but it's a 2 times modded with bi-weekly wipes. I don't know much about Rust, I just know that it's bi-weekly wipes, and then once a month is blueprint wipe. I think that's the things that's the most important to know. And then you can just check the video for the rest of the details yourself. Okay, that is basically it. I also have a really weird new outro, I guess. I just made it randomly. I don't know why I did it, but I'm just gonna put it here as well. So that was it for me for now. I don't know if I'm going to make any more videos till next year. I might make 1 or 2 about something that is like irrelevant to anything that you hear now, but we'll see. So for now, happy holidays, and I hope everyone goes into the new year happy and healthy, and I will see you all in 2025. Goodbye for now.